The snow is now over in the metro, but not this frigid cold. Afternoon, I'm Sam Shocker. The snow wasn't a lot this morning, but it did cause some problems. A Flatiron Flyer bus was pulling into an RTD parking lot near US 36 and Sheridan Boulevard in Westminster when it partially slid off the road. 6 passengers were on board, but no one luckily was hurt. It took more than an hour to get the bus off that retaining wall and towed away. But down south in Huerfano County, a semi-truck driver has died after running into the back of a CDOT snowplow. It happened just before 5 this morning on I-25, a few miles north of Walsenburg. The plow truck driver was hurt, but we don't know the seriousness of the injuries, and CSP has not said what caused the crash. And we were expecting a little more snow than we got. It covered the grass, but as you can see here, roads are pretty clear, and it looks like there's some elks laying there. How cute is that? It's not bothering them at all. That's on Lookout Mountain right now. We're ready for the warmer temperatures coming in tomorrow, so let's get right to Keely Chalmers with our 9 News Weather Impact Team. Keely.
Yeah, good afternoon. We have got that Arctic cold lasting through tomorrow, so those roads are going to remain slick, especially those still snow covered, still a little moisture on the pavement. Those roads will remain slick through tomorrow, at least about noon when we start to thaw out. So again, some slick driving conditions we're dealing with. We've got actually some blue skies, a little bit of sunshine, but the cold that is in place and it is not going anywhere today. So we do have a weather impact alert through tomorrow morning due to that brutal cold and the wind chill dropping to 15 to 25 below in some areas across the plains. And again, you want to limit outdoor exposure because of that. Anywhere 20 minutes outside for exposed skin could lead to frostbite. So again, and as we mentioned, slick roads out there. Be careful when you are driving. Temperatures right now, we're at 9 degrees at DIA, so we are going to stay likely below 10 degrees today. Live radar, we are clear. All that moisture that brought us the snow moving off to the east, just some flurries left over, but again, not a lot of moisture. We're drying out as we head into our Wednesday afternoon. Current temperatures, single digits, teens across the plains. We are looking at some single digits up in the high country. Do want to talk about a cold weather advisory for the Front Range foothills, the I-25 urban corridor, and out across the plains because of the cold. So again, we're talking about slick roads, bitter cold, wind chills down to 25 below, and we are tracking yet another storm bringing significant snow to the mountains. More on that coming up in your full forecast.
Keely, thank you. Well, our bodies are not meant to experience this brutally cold weather, according to our 9 News medical expert, Dr. Pyle Coley. 9 News reporter Lauren Scafidi was out braving the cold this morning and outlining what changes you might want to make in your daily routine today.
Certain medications affect the way your body reacts to the cold, and same with the foods you eat. Dr. Coley warns that certain groups of people are at a higher risk when it's cold outside. That's young kids, people over 65, women who are pregnant, as well as people with lung issues like asthma. Dr. Coley says for people with asthma, the cold can actually trigger a spasm of the airways and cause them to close. She adds anyone on blood pressure medicines like beta blockers or diuretics can also have issues out in the cold weather, as well as people with Parkinson's or diabetes. Dr. Coley says their neurons don't work as well responding to the cold. The brutal conditions affect other parts of your body too.
Because there's actually a phenomenon called cold-induced diuresis, where the cold weather triggers our blood vessels to kind of clamp down, and that makes us urinate more, so we're more likely to get dehydrated. So I tell my patients, try to avoid any cold or icy drinks, because those are cooling from the inside. That's not what you want to drink.
She says avoid really heavy protein-rich meals because that redistribution of blood to your stomach, away from your skin and your fingertips, that will make you colder. She says stick with hot stews or hot liquids because that'll keep you warm from the inside out. In Denver, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
Lauren, thank you. New at noon, we've learned the person shot at an RTD station in Greenwood Village yesterday has died. The coroner confirmed that to us, but the police will not give any additional details. And as of now, no one has been arrested. Police say not only was one person shot, a second victim was also assaulted at the Dayton RTD station off of I-25 just after 3 yesterday afternoon. We do not know how the second person is doing. Greenwood Village police say they saw on surveillance cameras which direction the suspects ran. But again, no one has been arrested. The Adams County Sheriff's Office says an arrest has been made in a deadly shooting outside a Denver strip club earlier this week. Deputies say they found a man with gunshot wounds dead inside his car outside the Players Club just after 1:30 Monday morning. Today, the Sheriff's Office says officers with Weld County SWAT and Fort Lupton Police found and arrested Bruno Hernandez at his home. Deputies say surveillance video from the strip club that night caught him fighting with the victim right before the shooting took place. Hernandez now faces first-degree murder charges. A man charged in a deadly road crash in 2023 is starting his life sentence after being found guilty yesterday. Earl Garskinski admitted he drove a truck on Highway 287 in Boulder County and hit a car with 2 people inside. That car was sent into oncoming traffic and hit 2 other vehicles. But Garskinski never stopped. 2 people in the first car were killed, and the driver of another vehicle was seriously hurt. Garskinski was found guilty yesterday of several charges, including first-degree murder and vehicular homicide. And right after the verdict came, the judge issued the life sentence without the possibility of parole. A Denver City Councilwoman is holding up funding for a micro-community for unhoused people in her district over questions about how that money is being used. At Monday's meeting, the City Council considered a plan to fund 3 micro-communities for another year, but only 2 ended up getting money. Councilwoman Flor Alvarez represents the Overland area off of Santa Fe, where the La Paz micro-community is located. It's 60 tiny homes house people who were formerly homeless. She says her community needs answers, questions about how funding is being used there. The 2 other micro-communities ended up getting extended at a $3 million cost, which is much less expensive than the city's hotel properties, which were bought or leased for tens of millions of dollars.